So, good morning, friends, and welcome to another amazing Get and Get Fit series. Today we are in session 37. Altogether, we've completed 42 series so far. For all those people who are new to Get and Get Fit, I just thought I would give you a peek into what we have been doing in the last 14 months. I would just like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Vidyaa, and I'm a dentist and also a psychotherapist and a counselor. All of us suddenly were exposed to a kind of a pandemic which none of us have ever experienced in our lives, nor our parents have. As a psychotherapist, I started getting a number of calls, and I just thought I should extend my services to a larger fraternity. And at that point of time, along with like-minded friends, we started a WhatsApp group. And that WhatsApp group was predominantly looking into a lot of, arenas where we could bring about a kind of a holistic way of approach to life. So we started our Get and Get Fit series and Pamper Yourself series. The Get and Get Fit series is predominantly about heart, body, mind, and soul. So here we talk everything and anything about keeping yourself fit, not only physically, but emotionally, mentally, psychologically, socially, and economically too. And we also talk about, pampering yourself. And I guess that's so important because today's self-love is very, very important. We are going through a lot of testing times, and, only the way we could all come out through this is being together. And I'm sure all of us in our own small ways are doing things so that we can improvise life around us and with people who matter the most to us, right? And the Get and Get Fit series is all about that. And if you would like to join us, you can just ping me. My number is 98401 76088. I repeat, 98401 76088. You can follow us at Dr. Vidyaa Iyer at Facebook, or just Dr. Vidyaa in Insta, where we post all these sessions and we share the links so that everybody could benefit. And those who have missed the sessions can rerun them and enjoy what we have enjoyed this particular day. With all those few words, I would like to welcome our speaker for the day, an amazing personality. I had the fortune of interacting with him thanks to Kripakar sir, that he was instrumental in this process. And Kripakar sir has been a great source of resource for all of us. And he's been a speaker also in the series. And he has selected a lot of gems and given us, and one such gem is Krish. So Krish Hariharan, as we know him, and I would just like to read out his CV. I know it's really long, but then there was no way I could shorten it up because he has so many credentials, and I feel it is our honor and proud privilege to have Krish with us today. So Krish, the educational background, if you ask, he has done his MSc in Yoga for Human Excellence, his PGD in Fitness and Nutrition, Certified Aquatic Fitness Instructor. He's also a Certified Fitness Trainer by NASM. He's done his certification in Advanced Sports Physiology by ISSA. Also done Certified Pilometric Trainer by ISSA and Certified Functional Trainer by ISSA. He's also a certified pilot's trainer by PIA. And he also has a professional background. He's a founder of ACFIT Academy for Fitness Professionals. He's a fitness director at Acme Fitness. He's also an author of the CFR training system. And at the NASM, he's a master trainer, that is the direct contact program, which is through India. And his credentials are that he has over 245 plus workshops conducted all across India on fitness. He has 50 plus guest lectures on health and wellness in nationwide conferences. He's trained over 1,000 athletes in bodybuilding in the past 15 years. He's got 20 exclusive batches handled on the CFR certification program, having nearly 30 trainers from all across Tamil Nadu and India in every session. And he has around 28 seminars taken for corporate companies in various industrial sectors across India and Tamil Nadu, covering specific topics based on nature of the industry. He is also a celebrity fitness consultant for Vikram, Vishal, Arya, Pooja, and A.R. Murugadas. I guess all of them don't need any introduction. He's also a performance enhancement trainer for national level swimmers since 2010. He's a fitness consultant and designer for various top fitness solutions across India. He has designed enhancement consultant for Alexo Fitness Equipments, which is South Korea based. And he has been the head judge for several competitions in CrossFit and bodybuilding championships. And his competitive achievements are, he's a national silver medalist in heavyweight kickboxing in 2006. He's a state level bronze medalist in bodybuilding in 2004. And he is a multiple state city bodybuilding championship from 1999 to 2006, which is no mere feat. I guess, there's a lot of physical and mental training as you go all these years of speaker for the day, Mr. Krish Hariharan. And thank you so much, Krish, for accepting our invitation and taking time out of your busy schedule. I know after I interacted with you that, every second of yours count, because you have 3 professions or businesses running parallelly. And I know it must have been very tough for you to find time for all of us. But we're ever grateful. And on behalf of my Get and Get Fit team, I take it as a proud privilege to thank both you and Kripakar sir for this opportunity. Over to you, Krish.
Okay. Thank you, Vidyaa, for giving such a great and vague introduction about myself. Normally in my webinars, I don't give this kind of a detailed introduction about myself, because it's like I'm very concerned about the audience. So she had given enough credentials what I did so far. So I just want to share what I would like to give on this particular next 50 minutes to the audience. So basically it's like my training experience. It's like what I learned in the fitness industry and what are the problems I faced in that and what kind of a solution I had created for this. This is going to thing I'm going to speak today. I'm going to speak about today. See, basically, I started my career as a basic fitness enthusiast to gain some kind of a muscle mass. So, ஜிம்ல எல்லாரும் ஜாயின் பண்ற மாதிரி கொஞ்சம் வெயிட் கெயின் பண்ணா போதும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு ஆட்டிடியூடோட தான் I joined a gym. That's where the basic feed is like you get lots of information. Maybe I'm saying that period is somewhere around 1998. So it's like in the information wealthy period kadayadu. We have a very restricted information. Adhigapatcham we need to rely on that particular gym master or whoever that he's going to teach us. And they have an experience, they don't have a knowledge. They were good in skills. Most of the gym masters were there good in skills, but they don't have the kind of a strong knowledge base to explain the concepts of fitness or very early stage. So there is a standard protocol for all type of people. So when you go inside the gym, still more or less other type of protocol most of the fitness centers are followed. They will give a standard warm-up followed by a typical bodybuilding based schedule. Now it is like somewhat they are combining CrossFit based training. Okay, fine. So CrossFit based training system then they will followed by some kind of a cool down. So in a similar critical bodybuilding background I started my career. So what are the problems I faced is it's like first form of exercise thought for me in a right way. It's like we need to, it's like a self-learning process. It was self-learning process, but today we have lots of access to information. You can go and check in Google or YouTube for all your exercise program and form of exercise. So that day, it's like we have a restricted information availability. But now, international magazine called Muscles and Fitness, Flex. You don't get that magazines in general magazine shop also. You on the Hiking Bottoms or you go for Spencer's to get that magazines, and it's quite expensive. So that time itself it costs around 500. So that is the period. And the period when I want to get through that magazines, again in the Hiking Bottoms, I gain my knowledge and I try to apply that. When I try to apply that, it's like இங்க வந்து இந்த ஒர்க் அவுட்லாம் வேலையே செய்யாது. தீஸ் ஆர் வந்து வெஸ்டர்ன் டைப் ஆஃப் ஒர்க் அவுட். நீங்க வந்து நம்ம இந்தியன் ஜெனட்டிக்ஸ்க்கு இந்த மாதிரிலாம் ஒர்க் அவுட் பண்ணக்கூடாது. ஸோ லாட்ஸ் ஆஃப் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன், வாட் யூ கேஸ் pollution. I can say it's like there is no clarity in what I am getting and what I am doing. That's where I get into doing lots of self-research. I contacted most of the international bodybuilders through email. On the period late, by internet boom I go to internet center. I keep contact them. I gain my knowledge. Then slowly and gradually I progressed. I'll become a powerlifter. Then I'll become a bodybuilder. This is where like my career shift. I will over a field I keep moving in. Powerlifting I gain strength. Bodybuilding I gain muscle. Now I do martial arts, so that's a long time dream for me. It's like, so that's where I get into kickboxing. I find I need a different type of skill for sport. Powerlifting like a raw strength translated as a power or speed or agility in kickboxing. I get trained through training. That particular period, 2003 or 2004, it's like personal training from a national level kickboxing master. So he trained me on agility, speed and power. I was on the huge big board marina. It's like I was somewhere around 105 that particular time. It's like I maintain normally 10 pounds to 215 pounds of muscle. So he said, this is going to work you in kickboxing. You need to be sleek and slender. So I shred another 20 kgs of my excess muscle mass, and I became 85. Then my speed, power, and I got a lot of learning into that. That's where whatever we gain as a raw strength in a gym or a fitness center is not going to get applicable on the sport, conventional sport, because each and every sport has a different environment. So that's where I got an introduction to all these things. So in the entire career is happening in between my 18 to 26, 27. I think most of the people in the webinar somewhere in the I assume somewhere people in between 30 to 40 or 45. So when I reach my 30, that is 29, I start getting lots of different type of responsibility. I want to stop my active lifestyle, not like before, morning, evening, exercise, diet, rest. இந்த மாதிரி எதையும் பண்ண முடியாத ஒரு சூழ்நிலைக்கு ஒரு business or life or employment, we need to work 6 hours or 10 hours or 8 hours, 12 hours. So when I was forced to push that, I'm slowly and gradually converting myself into a sedentary lifestyle. But I don't want to continue that. It's like, then again, instant I decided to break this and get back to my original shape. So I start working intensely. That is the time I start feeling lots of difference in my overall physical capacity. It's like I have lots of back issues, shoulder issues, knee issues. I don't understand why I get this many injuries. Even my foundation is good. I'm a powerlifter. My strength is good. I'm a bodybuilder. I have enough muscle mass. I'm into active sports like kickboxing. Then I find lots of discomfort. That's the time I met one of my co-partner and a trainer in O2 Fitness Studio. His name is Ganesh. He is a Pilates instructor. Whenever I see that Pilates class, it looks funny for me. ஒரு பேண்ட் ஒரு சின்ன பாலை வச்சுக்கிட்டு ஏதோ இப்படி பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. nothing is going to happen. And he is also a physiotherapist. Then I went to him. I said, it's like I have a shoulder injury, back, and knee. I don't know. I restarted. I also getting some kind of, suddenly I get into a sprinting model to burn more fat. So that's where I start getting plantar fasciitis. So I start getting various injuries. I said, why this is happening to me? It's like I'm just out of my active lifestyle for a quite short period, maybe 6 to 8 months. Now I'm not out of that, and I'm getting back to the. That's where he said, your raw strength is there. You have lots of skeletal muscle, but that is most of the muscle. What you gained it's your structural muscle. That is your mobility muscle. Your stabilizer muscles were weak. I don't accept it at all. How come this is possible for me? It's like when I train, I work for both mobilizer and stabilizer. He said, so far you're practicing on your strength, focusing on lifting more and getting more power, speed for a short duration. Have you ever practiced for endurance? That's a turn point for me. It's like he proved me on some stability test. I'm not able to withstand. I'm not able to. He's resisting my arm like this. I'm not able to lift for a time. My adductor, core, my entire spine looks like a cable. It's very weak. But I have a strength. He said, you need to train all those things. That's where I start training my core. I'm quite interested to get recovered from the injury, and he is the person working with my injury, and he said there is a process for it. You need to release, you need to focus more on your warm-up part, that is your mobilizing your muscle before you're getting into activity. So what I did is, it's like you need to go for stretching, you need to go for releasing techniques, then you need to activate your weak muscle, finally integrate to a functional part, then you can go for resistance training. This looks like a quite long process for me, but unfortunately I need to get into that process. Then I start doing more and more research on this particular part, and at last I derived a training system for myself. It is called CFR, Corrective Functional Resistance Training. The training system at this point of time I'm teaching to all of my students or my trainers under me who comes for a workshop and all those things. So what way this is different from rest of the functional training methods? Fitness industry has been dominated by four main group of people. One is CrossFitters. Maybe people say it's like intense, they jump, they hop, they do an intense activity. The training intensity, oh, I need to be functional, I need to move, I need to walk, I need to run. Now, the all sportsman, marathon runner, marathon runner, sprinter, sprint, weightlifter, weight, that is not possible at all. It's like, again, in fitness industry, specific adaptation imposed to demands. If you want to train your body for one skill, it will get that skill and it will get adapted to that. You can't be a superhuman of all together. You can't get speed, power, endurance, and everything. Yes, that is possible for few people, not for everybody. And again, what is your requirement is very important. In the training goals is very important, because CrossFit attract we want to become a superhuman. We need to jump, hop, run, swim, and lift, and we want to do everything. Strength, power, speed, everything active. So that is number one, CrossFit. Yes, that is a good training system, provided he is a proper CrossFit certified trainer. Very few people were there in Chennai with a proper CrossFit certification. Even I can say there is only one CrossFit affiliated center in Chennai. Rest of the people, they just branded. Even they are not supposed to do as CrossFit. On the training system, the Murusa Purinjikama, they start giving training. The CrossFit adutha community, the information community is sporting community. So we try to learn what they do. In the community, somewhere and the recoverable age from 18 to 25. So how that type of program get an adaptation to people who are 30 plus or who somebody is new to fitness to try to adapt this type of training. There is no possibility. I believe it's like unless you have a proper supervision, ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு CrossFit certified trainer அதை நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு உங்களுக்கு ட்ரெயின் பண்றாங்கன்னா it works. You are joining in a anonymous group called CrossFit and doing some kind of random exercise and call yourself doing some kind of workout of the day. End of the day, you're going to get injured. It's like, or you're going to working towards injury. That's the thing happens on that. Next community is bodybuilding community. Again, what's the problem with bodybuilding community? They focus on aesthetics. They want to build muscle. Yes, strength is a foundation for everything. There is no doubt about it. இதுல வந்து strength எனக்கு வேண்டாம், எனக்கு ரெசிஸ்டன்ஸ் ட்ரைனிங் வேண்டாம்னு சொல்றது வந்து ஒரு புத்திசாலித்தனமான ஆஸ்பெக்ட் கிடையாது. You need to incorporate resistance training. Strength is important, but not to the extent of a bodybuilder, because his goal is entirely different. He want to build muscle. And the next thing is, most of the guys in the bodybuilding industry were genetic freaks who were in the top level. It may be Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bill Heath, Dwayne Johnson. If they show off muscle, they have some kind of genetic ability to grow that big muscle. That is not possible for every human being. So that's a very big problem. Again, they take sufficient amount of nutrition, supplements, sometimes drugs. All these things together create that kind of a huge kind of muscle. So that whatever the training system given by a Dwayne Johnson or Arnold Schwarzenegger, you can't simply follow that. It can't. எனக்கே அதை அடாப்ட் பண்ண முடியாது, because I don't have a recoverable ability. I can even say it's like individual recovery ability. He can recover. அதாவது ஒரு ஒர்க் அவுட்டுக்கும் இன்னொரு ஒர்க் அவுட்டுக்கும் இருக்க அவங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா டெய்லி செய்யற மாதிரி இருக்கும். But when I do one workout session, for me it takes 2 days to get recovered from that workout. So I can't do that exactly. அது ஒரு வாரத்துக்கு 4 நாள் இருக்குன்னா அதே அப்படியே 4 நாள் நான் அதை ஃபாலோ பண்ண முடியாது. So that's the problem with the bodybuilding ideology. So CrossFit ideology is out, bodybuilding ideology is out. Next thing is very simple, transformation people. It's like a transformation and celebrity people. So what these people are doing, so you can find most of the city celebrities or Hollywood, Bollywood, Collywood, they get transformed. We say it's like we were motivated, we need body like Amir Khan, illa Surya Mari Venum, illa maybe now Simbu has lost 10 kilo per star, nama andha mari pananum. If you look, observe them very clearly, they were into fitness activity for a quite long period of time. Because they need to maintain the body. They were not suddenly getting transformed. Some activity they were doing. For a particular movie, they get that time luxury and money luxury to transform themselves. What they do is they appoint a fitness trainer with proper supervision, and they take sufficient amount of time. ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம் என்னன்னா 3 ல இருந்து 6 மாசம். They take 6 months, 8 months time duration to transform. But நமக்கு எப்படி இருக்கும்னா, நமக்கு அந்த ப்ரோமோல பார்க்கிறதுக்கு நேத்து பார்த்தோம் இன்னைக்கு இப்படி இருக்காரு அப்படின்னா, நீங்க கிளீனா அப்சர்வ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அந்த பீரியட் might be somewhere around 6 to 8 months. Because I had been a consultant for most of the celebrities. Now consultation பண்ணிருக்கேன், but the trainers under me do train them. So they take a quite long time, 6 to 8 months. 6 to 8 months of dedicated work, diet, rest, what else? It's like then they don't want to commit any mental activity. It's like நம்மள மாதிரி ஒரு stressful lifestyle ஒரு business run பண்ணனும் அதோ கிடையாது. ஒரு படத்துக்கு அவர் கமிட் ஆவறாருன்னா that producer will pay him the entire thing and give that our facility that is called time rich and money rich to get transformed. How come that transformation program can be applicable for a general personality? So that is not possible. That is how, because நமக்கு இன்னைக்கு வந்து fitness related information நம்ம ஆன்லைன்ல தேடுறப்ப these are the available information. These are the communities provide exercise program, diet and everything. How come this can be applicable for a common man or a person somewhere in 30 plus, or somebody is a beginner? Because they don't understand what's the reality behind that. Then the final thing, community is running community. Again, there are lots of problems in running community. See, there are ஒரு running group னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா few people survive as a good runners. So 30 plus பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த running and cycling community நம்ம நிறைய பார்க்க முடியும். Very few people will survive as a good runners because they have a genetic ability. One, ரெண்டாவது விஷயம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா they are into some kind of foundation activity. ஏதோ ஒரு fitness activity ஏதோ செஞ்சிட்டே இருந்திருப்பாங்க அவங்க சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து. You can take Kripagar as a grand example in this group. It's like he is into basketball, he is into an active lifestyle. Suddenly he transformed himself into a runner and he has a good individual recovery ability and that works for him and it's like he is shining in his field. அப்படி பண்ணும்போதே he is very conscious about his joints, what kind of activity he is self-educating about recovery, what kind of diet he needs to do, all this thing. Lots of consideration he takes. It's his age, his diet, and what kind of a recovery thing to be done, stretching, what kind of additional activity done to continue the running activity. If all these things together forms a runner. Blindly ஒருத்தர் வந்து திடீர்னு காலையில எழுப்பி நீங்க வந்து ஒரு 5 கிலோமீட்டர் ஓடுங்க டெய்லி அப்படின்னு ரெக்கமெண்ட் பண்ண முடியாது. வாட் இஸ் த ரீசன்? பிகாஸ் ஒரு ஆக்டிவ் லைஃப் ஸ்டைல்ல எல்லாருமே வந்து ஒரு அந்த 16ல இருந்து ஒரு 20 வரைக்கும் இருக்காங்க, அந்த காலேஜ் வரைக்கும். So now I believe that in our age, I don't know what's happening now at this point of time, what's happening அப்படின்றது எனக்கு தெரியல. எங்க ஏஜ்ல அந்த 20 வயசு வரைக்கும் ஆக்டிவா இருந்தாங்க. ஸோ 20 வயசுக்கு அப்புறம் என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா ஒரு எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் ஆர் என்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப், வாட் எவர் எம்ப்ளாயி ஆர் எம்ப்ளாயர், எனி ஒரு பொசிஷன் எடுக்கிறப்ப யூ ஆர் ஃபோர்ஸ் டு டேக் அ sedentary lifestyle. So what you need to do is you need to sit in one particular place for 6 to 8 hours. So naturally, if you are sitting for 6 to 8 hours, primary muscle group, we call it a psoas major, glutes, இதெல்லாம் வந்து டார்மெண்டா இன்ஆக்டிவா ஸ்ட்ரெச் ஆயிடும். The moment you kick me, நாளைக்கே நீங்க போய் ரன்னிங் போங்க ஒரு 5 கிலோமீட்டர் அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், if these are the primary hip stabilizers, உங்க ஹிப் போன ஸ்டெபிள், ஒரு காலை தூக்கும் போது இன்னொரு காலை ஸ்டெபிளைஸ் பண்றதுக்கு ஒர்க் ஆக பிரைமரி மசில். If this hip stabilizers were not active, you end up with lots of knee, ankle, back, and even sometimes cervical issues. So the information what we get through all these 4 communities were through survivors, genetic abilities, who are conscious about what they are doing, all this thing. This can't be applicable for a layman or a person who want to start fitness, who want to start activity. So what's the solution? These are the problems I faced. It's like, நான் என்ன தப்பு பண்ணேன் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, I'm not working on my stabilizers. I'm working more on my external muscles. It's like not, what is the difference between stabilizer and mobilizer அப்படின்னு நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா, we constantly stand, we work against gravity. Even the chair la ukandirukkum kuda I'm working against gravity. That's why I'm able to sit like this. So there are a set of small muscle group which is closer to your skeletal structure, is called stabilizer. Stabilizer, you can't create movement. Or a catapult, if you're holding something, this okay, this here you're stabilizing, then only you are able to generate power through your mobilizer. If this is not stable, inga vandu wobble agude, can I able to generate power? No. So that's the mistake I did. I keep building the power of this arm, not building the power of this arm. When this arm is weak, the stabilizer is weak, how come I'm able to generate power? So same thing happens for most of the movement activities. Like if your stabilizers, for example, when I want to sit like this in the position, you look at from the sides. So if I want to sit like this, I need to have a proper shoulder stability strength, shoulder blade cervical stabilizers. இதெல்லாம் ஸ்டேபிளா இருந்தா I can stand erect and sit there like this. Otherwise I will be hunching like this and neck forward. So this is the normal position for most of the people when they sit. So how many people can sit like this? Because the weakness of stabilizer. Now let's look at the problem area. The problem is posture. 99% of people have some kind of problem. postural issues, whether they were athlete or sports or they were active or inactive. Inactive has more chances, active has less chances. Active get recovered fast, inactive take a quite long time to correct the posture. All of the difference. Mathematical postural deviation. Yeah, active person. How come active person get a postural deviation? Based on the sport. When you look at swimmers, they'll be like this. This is too much. This is neutral. This is rounded shoulder. If your shoulder blades are retracted like this, because they are into constant activity, the swimming movement, and the pinadi the shoulder blade tight, and you can find they have a weak glutes because the glute the stability hip flexor. So they have a strong hip flexor, weak glutes. That will be affecting their ability in running, squatting, strength training, lots of things. So that will affect some kind of postural instability. Whether you swimmer aligned posture minor weakness, but that can be corrected very easily. Not like a very inactive person. So inactive person, what are the problems? Most of the people have rounded shoulders because computer, laptop, mobile, everything, it's like your curiosity, anxiety, everything is the reason for your shoulders. It's like, see, this is your neutral shoulder. If you're very anxious, some people you can find this. Posture is psychosomatic. It's like your attitude of posture. So when you're anxious, you're like this. You're overconfidence, you're like this. You're lacking confidence, you're like this. So, or computer or work there are so many things happens. So it's like or posture, it's like psychosomatic or computer if you have various thought processes happening inside you, maybe some males makes you anxious, some males gains you confidence, some males make you losing your confidence, your numbers, everything. So everything is getting reflected here. The same way, if you look at your pelvic, so this is your pelvic line. Most of the people, it's like this. This is called anterior pelvic tilt. See, this is neutral. How many people can maintain this? So because there is a weakness, it's like you might. So this, when your posture is not aligned, actually that will be reflecting on your movements. So that will be reflecting on your movements. So first thing, before getting into any activity, it may be resistance training, CrossFit or running, even walking. Walking ponga or 5 km. If there is an anterior pelvic tilt, if that particular person forcefully doing or 5 km walk na, 2-3 days calf, mudugu, yalla tight. What's the primary reason? The center of gravity is the primary reason. See, center of gravity, it's like need to exactly fall in between your legs. But when you have an anterior pelvic tilt, it is falling in front of your foot. So that deviation, overall kinetic chain deviate pannidum. So if there is a kinetic chain deviation, you will put lots of load on your joints rather than working muscle group. So if you are walking, primary working muscle group will be your glute, your hamstring, your quad, your hip flexors, your calf. This is the primary. Ana calf jastiya vela seyudu. It is getting tight. Low back in the pakkom nare per odi mudichittu in the side pakkom. They will hold here. So this is called quadratus lumborum. This will take the load. If this takes the load, glute vela seyalanu artham. So if these compensations happens in normal walking pattern or in your standing, basically there is one thing we always say that in functional movements, it's like we focus more on lifting than carrying. There is a very big difference. Human body is designed to do a work for a quite long time. Carrying is very important. நம்ம குழந்தையை தூக்கிட்டு போறதா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல ஷோல்டர்ல ஒரு பொருளை தூக்கிட்டு போறதா இருக்கலாம். இப்படிதான் நம்மளுடைய சிஸ்டம் நேச்சுரல் எக்ஸசைஸுக்கு அடாப்ட் ஆயிருந்தது. இன்னைக்கு எவ்வளவு பேரால நிக்க முடியுது ஒரு பொசிஷன்ல? நிக்கிறத விடுங்க, ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் பொசிஷன்ல If, for example, if I ask all of you to cross your legs and sit like this for the entire workshop, for next 50 minutes, you're going to sit like this, cross your leg now. Can you able to sit on that particular position for more than fine? In the cross leg position, 10 நிமிஷம் யாராலையும் உட்கார முடியல. We change your position, left, right, முட்டி வலிக்குது, ankle வலிக்குது. These are the primary reason for your, this shows very clearly that your stabilizers were weak. Some of your mobilizers were tight. நிறைய பேர் என்ன நினைப்பாங்க, we focus more on releasing the tight muscle. That is not the right way to correct yourself. You need to activate your weak muscle to reduce tightness on your tight muscle. Even when you take yoga, critically நீங்க ஒரு யோகா எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், நிறைய பேர் will focus more on stretching the muscle. See, it's not stretching is the only goal of yoga. ஒரு சைடு மசில ஸ்ட்ரெச் பண்றப்ப அதுக்கு ஆப்போசிட் சைடு இருக்க மசில ஐசோமெட்ரிக்கா கண்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணும். Otherwise, you're not doing the yoga postures in a right form. For example, when I say forward bend, so I can do forward bend like this. You can see my back is perfectly straight. I can do forward bend like this. So when I do like this, I'm not stabilizing my lower back. So when I'm able to do this, I'm stabilizing. I'm doing isometric contraction. இந்த பக்கம் இருக்க மசிலை contract பண்ணிக்கிட்டு என்னுடைய hamstring stretch பண்றேன். But when I'm doing this, I'm weakening my stabilizers to get that posture. So that is the primary reason most of the people சில பேர் யோகா கிளாஸுக்கு போயிட்டு எனக்கு பேக் பெயின் ஜாஸ்தி ஆயிடுச்சு, இந்த யோகா எக்ஸசைஸ் செஞ்சு எனக்கு ப்ராப்ளம் ஜாஸ்தி ஆயிடுச்சு. These are the primary reasons. So what is the solution to start a program? Because now I said it's like everything is wrong. CrossFit தப்பு, bodybuilding தப்பு, எல்லாமே ரன்னிங் தப்பு. அப்போ எப்படிதான் ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றதுன்னு you might be having a question. Very simple. You can do any activity, whatever the activity you want. First thing, when I say activity, you need to have know the clear difference between exercise and physical activity. இதுதான் நிறைய பேர் பண்ற தப்பு. What is exercise? Exercise is a stimuli. நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்கன்னா, you're creating a stimuli in your body to create some kind of metabolic adaptation. Metabolic adaptation na enna sonna, either you try to lose weight, that is you are burning your fat cells, or you're building your muscles, or you're increasing your performance. Performance na sporting performance. Ipo or marathon runner 5k la irundhu or 10k ku odanum nenicha, that is also increasing performance. For that he need to put little bit hard effort. அதாவது நேத்து 5 கிலோமீட்டர் பண்ணா நாளைக்கு 5.5 கிலோமீட்டர் போகணும், நாளைக்கு 6 பண்ணணும். The moment உங்களுடைய நேச்சுரல் த்ரெஷோல்டுல இருந்து இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் புஷ் பண்றீங்கன்னா எந்த ஆக்டிவிட்டியும் will convert into exercise. It is not இது exercise, இது physical activity, அவ்வளவுதான். That is only one point that is called training intensity. If your training intensity is pushed to some extent, ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா சொன்னா training intensity புரிஞ்சுக்கிறோமா, discomfort level. Say for example, 1 is your least discomfort, 10 is your highest discomfort. நீங்க அதை ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா பண்ணா, 1 நீங்க படுத்துருக்கீங்க, 10 ஒரு ஸ்ப்ரிண்ட் பண்றீங்க, இல்லாட்டி உங்களை ஒரு நாய் சேஸ் பண்ணுது. So your running for life is 10. Somewhere if your training intensity is 6, 7, that is physical activity. If you are pushing your limits to 8, 9, sometimes rarely 10, that will become an exercise. So do you need to do exercise every day? No. Exercise should be done based on individual recovery ability. நீங்க எல்லா நாளும் heavy intense training தான் பண்ணணும், then only you will get results. No pain, no gain. Yes, I will take it. You should not get pain every day. That's not a right attitude towards your exercise. So identify which are the days you want to do exercise. Maybe அதுக்கு ஏன் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்னா, next day your stress levels need to be low. You should have less work and you should be able to take rest. You need to take sufficient amount of nutrition. You need to take sufficient amount of rest. இதெல்லாம் கிடைக்கும்னா எக்ஸசைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. That is stimulating. And ஒரு நாள் exercise பண்ணி அடுத்த ஒரு நாளோ ரெண்டு நாளோ if you provide this type of environment, your body will prepared for next exercise session. Otherwise, it won't get prepared for next exercise. With the pain, if you keep overloading your body with again and again with exercise, that will lead to injury or overtraining, or it will reduce your immunity. So in the மூணுல ஒண்ணுக்கு ஏதாச்சும் ஒண்ணு நடக்கும். This is the thing happening. Most of the people do a strenuous exercise every day in and day out. So rest of the days, what can I do? So I don't want to leave 3 days or activity செஞ்சுட்டு மீதி நாள் நான் சும்மா இருக்க விரும்பல அப்படி. Do physical activity. What is physical activity? Anything less than 20 to 30 minutes. Low intensity. That is, as I told you, the intensity scale should not break more than 5 to 6. Any activity, for example, if you are a marathon runner, you pushed your limit yesterday for somewhere around 18-19 kilometers push punting. Next day, don't push it to 20 kilometers. Next day, either go for yoga or stretching, some kind of activity, or you can go for a low intense run or 5k or 10k to just to improve your circulation to get recover from that, or you can do some kind of a strengthening exercise to strengthen your stabilizer muscle. That will improve your performance. So you need to work like this. So you should work, you should identify which is exercise, which is physical activity. Physical activity can be done throughout your life. What kind of results you get by doing physical activity? General well-being, sweat you improve your flexibility, your cardiovascular system and your respiratory system will get improved. So basic benefits you will get, wellness benefits you get through physical activity, but you can't get any kind of physical change or on the performance enhance பண்றதோ அது பண்ண முடியாது. அது பண்ணனும்னா நீங்க you need to go for exercise. So the moment when I say physical activity or exercise, you need to prepare your body. So that is my training system, 3-step training system called CFR. First thing is corrective. So corrective means, what I say is, if there is a postural deviation, first thing you need to identify your postural deviation. நான் எல்லாருக்குமே இருக்கு. பேசிக்கா பாத்தீங்கன்னா எல்லாருக்குமே இருக்கிறது anterior pelvis இருக்கும், இல்ல rounded shoulders இருக்கும், or together ரெண்டுமே இருக்கும். If you are not able to identify that, நீங்க பேசிக்கா ஒரு மிரர்ல நீங்க உங்கள ஃப்ரண்ட் போஸ், பேக் போஸ், சைட் போஸ் நீங்க உங்க மொபைல்ல போட்டோ எடுத்து பார்த்தாலும் சரி, இல்ல ஒரு ஃப்ரண்ட் ஆஃப் மிரர்ல நீங்க நின்னீங்கனாவே you can find lots of postural deviation and asymmetries. I'm not getting into asymmetries. Asymmetries na ஒரு சைடு தூக்கலா ஒரு சைடு இறங்கலா இருக்கும். I'm just taking front and back view, side view அவ்வளவுதான். ஆனா ஒரு சைடு that will take you to next level of complications. நீங்க அத பத்தி கத்துக்கணும்னா maybe you need to have a technical assistant, ஒரு நல்ல பிசியோ அவர்கிட்ட போய் தான் நீங்க அதெல்லாம் கரெக்ட் பண்ண முடியும். பேசிக்கா எல்லாருக்கும் anterior pelvic tilt இருக்கும். That is, when you see a front view, side view, the tilt in your pelvic is called anterior pelvic tilt. And you can see your rounded shoulders. This you can easily see in your mirrorல sideல நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னாவே posture deviation. If you have an anterior pelvic tilt, all your lower body movements get affected. Lower body movement na ipo exercise na romba complicated onnume kedadhu. Squatting, bending, lunging, pulling, pushing and twisting. இந்த 6 prime move, அதுக்கப்புறம் gating னு நம்ம சொல்லும்போது கொடுக்கிற running, swimming, cycling, those are all gating. So இப்ப lower primary moves அப்படினு வைக்கிறப்ப, so basic assessment you can do that whether your posture is deviated or not. Otherwise you can take a technical assistant, ஒரு physiotherapist இல்ல ஒரு நல்ல qualified trainer ஐயோ கேட்டு நீங்க உங்க posture deviated. When the posture is deviated, what way it will affect my movements? Now சொன்ன மாதிரி lower body movements, squatting, bending, lunging. So basic squatting, you know that this is squatting. Will you sit up and down? Bending, you know. Lunging is like one leg split squat forward. I'm sorry, if I take show the videos, it will take quite long time. You can understand the concept, and in depth maybe we'll have one more session. I will talk to Vidyaa to have some kind of a practical solution based thing. Today we understand the concept. So the primary moves, lower body moves will get affected when you have anterior pelvic tilt. Same way, when you have rounded shoulders, your upper body movements will get affected. Pulling, pushing and twisting will get affected. So first thing, you need to correct your posture. So how I'm going to do that is, first you need to assess whether you have a posture deviation. After that, you need to identify which are the muscle gone for tightness and weakness. So for that, we need to do for some kind of a releasing technique. We call it as foam rollers. You have foam rollers. Other specific muscle, எந்த muscle tight ஆயிருக்கோ அந்த muscle release பண்ணணும். Then you need to move to stretching. So see, it's like there is something called a fascia. This is your fascia. All your muscles are packed inside this fascia. For example, this is shrinked. Your muscle doesn't have a room to stretch. So when I release this fascia, my muscle have a room to stretch. So myofascial release is a number one activity before getting into any activity. So corrective exercise la vandu first myofascial release pannanom. Then you need to go for stretching. Once you do stretching, then you need to activate your weak muscles. And the muscle weaker irukko adha activate pannanom. Once you do this process, integrate into movements. So movements அப்படினு சொல்றப்ப anything, it may be swimming ஆ இருக்கலாம், running ஆ இருக்கலாம், இல்ல cycling ஆ இருக்கலாம், இல்ல primary exercise movements ஆ இருக்கலாம், இல்ல joint actions ஆ இருக்கலாம். இந்த மூவ்மெண்ட்டுக்கு இன்டகிரேட் பண்றப்ப அந்த கோர் ஸ்டெபிலிட்டியோட அந்த மூவ்மெண்ட் இன்டகிரேட். Once you get the movements in a right form, use resistance அப்படின்னு நான் சொல்றது என்ன, எதா வேணா இருக்கலாம், பேண்டா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல வந்து டம்பிள்ஸா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல பேரபிளா இருக்கலாம், or you can use your same body weight as a resistance. By moving your body in different angles, you get more resistance. Even gravity is also one part of resistance. If you effectively use gravity, you get resistance, you get muscles. So this is a 3-step process I derived finally for myself, a first thing. After that, I had taught this training principles for so many different trainers. So many people got benefit out of this type of training. So it's like at this point of time, I have 300 trainers who have got certified in CFR training. And this training can be very easy. It is not something only fitness trainer தான் கத்துக்க முடியுமா அப்படின்றது கிடையாது. Even fitness enthusiast. For example, Kripakar is a fitness enthusiast. He thinks, sir, எனக்கு இந்த அளவு டெக்னிக்கலா எனக்கு இதெல்லாம் புரியுமா, எனக்கு நீங்க இவ்ளோ மசில் இதெல்லாம் பத்தி பேசுறீங்களே எனக்கு. I encouraged him. He joined my classes and he learned lots and he learned most of the techniques. Even I can say he is one of my CFR certified trainer. If you have some kind of postural deviations or some kind of a releasing technique, stretching technique, now you can even contact him. He can give you right type of training and solutions for that. So workshop mudinji, personally I trained him for 4 or 5 sessions. Unfortunately, we are not able to continue that sessions because of COVID situation. So I'm almost in the conclusion stage. It's like, because I can't extend this session for a quite long period of time. So what is my experience is, number one, you need to work your stabilizers and mobilizer. You need to have a clear understanding towards your training system. நீங்க என்ன வேணா இருக்கலாம், அது ரன்னிங் ட்ரைனிங்கா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல கிராஸ்ஃபிட்டிங்கா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல பேசிக் யோகாவா கூட இருக்கலாம். ஆனா அது எது செய்யறதுக்கு முன்னாடியும் make sure your posture is in right form. Are you using appropriate muscles to do that activity? Otherwise, it will lead to injury. If you don't have a right posture, இது வந்து பெரிய பயங்கரமான விஷயம். எல்லாருக்கும் postural deviation இருக்கு, எல்லாருக்கும் movement compensation இருக்கு. So what is the simplest solution is, we need to correct it. Without correcting it, doing an activity for a period of time leads to injury. So what kind of a corrective technique you need to use? You need to learn foam rolling. Foam rolling for appropriate tight muscles. Then you need to go for stretching for appropriate tight muscles. Then you need to go for activation, appropriate weak muscles. I can give you a practical session on CFR training. Maybe in future, it's like I would like to complete video-based training for the Get Fit entire team. So that's activation. Finally, integrate into movements. So when you do go for movements, then your body is in a right form. Push yourself with resistance. Otherwise, it's like no point you or point blank or exercise or physical activity or say it's like you can't be consistent to that. It's like still I maintain it because I do lots of modification. Now, are crude bodybuilding method or powerlifting method, continue I can't do that. It's like now I had changed all these things. I follow my CFR training system. Still, I do weight training. I'm very regular to exercise. I'm very happily able to maintain it throughout your life. So resistance training is a part of my life. I can't think a day, sorry, not a day, think a week without a resistance training, because these days it's like weekly 2 or 3 days I do resistance training. Rest of the 3 or 4 days I will do some kind of physical activity like walking or yoga. I prefer yoga rather than walking and running. So this is my overall activity. Okay, any queries? I think this is a question time.
So first of all, let me summarize, Krish. So first of all, thank you so much, Krish, for throwing so much of light on what you wanted to say. Being a dentist, we come across a lot of things associated with posturology, and we have seen its effect on the neck muscles, on the teeth. And we simply tell our patients, if you have your slippers and when you buy the slippers, you would see that the heel of the slippers is same. But after a few months, you will see one side of your slippers actually wearing off faster than the rest of the slippers. That means you're not sitting fine. Another simple, everyday, noticing thing is the auto drivers. You will see them sitting on one particular posture and driving. Many a times we have thought that maybe it is their style of riding or something. But the back and the spine, over a period of time, what we in our terminology, we call the balancing and the working side. Another simple example is about a woman carrying a pot of water on her waist or hip. So you would see that the moment she picks the water off, that vessel, she would keep it. She cannot actually bend on that side, so she will body balance with the other side, or the center of gravity shifting towards the opposite side. So that is how we call the working side and the balancing side. And if there is a mismatch of this over a period of time, the pain or the strain starts on your neck, over the entire back, towards your hip and your legs, and you start having or developing a lot of wearing effects, whether it's your knees, it's your hip, it is your neck. And of course, all this would start after the age of 35. So I want to thank Krish because he very beautifully brought out the chronological age, 18 to 27 or 25, where it would all start and how you should start correcting yourself, and why one particular form of exercise would not be enough for most of us, or what works for one person might not work for us. And he gave us multi-factorial reasons for that. He talked about genetics, he talked about lifestyle, he spoke about nutrition, he spoke about the kind of the mindset we need to have in the betterment of ourselves. And he also spoke about the corrective action. So for people who are new to this entire Get In Get Fit series, I just want to tell you that this is a very holistic way of looking at things. Because I can't just make a blanket statement that let's all do yoga. Let's all do, running. Personally, I would like to share an experience of myself. I had a spinal injury in 2005, which left my right side of the body paralyzed for 3 months. And I was totally bedridden. I could not walk. I could not sit. I could not stand. But then, I took 3 months off from my profession and everything what I could do. But of course, I got in and started doing a little bit of yoga, breathing and things like that. And without any surgical intervention, I was able to correct my body. And I owe a lot to all those people who have significantly tried to bring that kind of, internal healing. And today I can proudly say that, you can heal. And when you have these corrective measures, exactly at the time where it is like, you have the reversible and the irreversible stage. When it goes to irreversible, obviously you might have to go into surgical intervention. But when you're still in the reversible stage where you can take a roundabout and get back to good health, I guess these techniques work very well. And your body will speak to you, my dear friends. Each of your body will speak to you, and it will tell you, even when you're doing yoga, even when you're running, it will say it's hurting you. And listen to your body. Your body is the best thing which will talk to you every single day. Some days you might not be able to get up in the morning and do exercise. That day your body needs sleep. Appreciate your body, love your body, and listen to it, because that's the best place. Many a times we ask people, where do you live? And I get varied answers. They say, I live in T Nagar, I live in India, and things like that. But all of us live in our bodies, my dear friends. So, we need to understand our body, and, as we listen to it, we can push ourselves a little more. And that is what Krish was trying to talk about, endurance. And as we push ourselves a little more in that positive pathway, we might start doing some impossible things. And, as he said, a novice or an amateur can become a professional, and, can really take it to another front. And thank you, Krish, for all those insights. I mean, it was an absolutely wonderful session. Especially, for people like me who are into this field, who understand the science behind what you spoke. It was a great learning experience, and I'm sure many of my friends would also feel the same. I would now ask all of you to unmute, and you can ask questions, or you can post them on the chat box as I ask those questions on your behalf, so that we don't have a noise as we are doing this session. And if you have any comments to be placed on the chat box, you can do so. And I would be reading the chat box right now. So I have a few messages here. So Dr. Vidyaa Suresh says, awesome session. Learned a lot about importance of stabilizing and stretching the muscles. Ravi sir said posture explanation was really very useful, and we can correct now our wrong postures. Dr. Vidya, your explanation is very useful. Thank you. Dr. Vijaya Suresh is asking, any course for posture wellness? So I think that's the question we have right now on the chat box.
Yeah.
You can take up that question.
Yeah, we have a course on next Saturday and Sunday. It's called training language for corrective exercise. We go lots of technical aspects. The basic functional anatomy, we'll teach you basic functional anatomy. From there, if the posture is deviated, which muscle gone for tightness, which muscle gone for weakness, will be explained there. Along with that, we'll provide the solution. Foam rolling, what is the science behind foam rolling and how to use it. Stretching, what are the primary stretching to be done for postural muscles. From there, we will push you to activation exercise. All 3 steps, the corrective exercise and the 3 step sometimes 2 days, sometimes we will extend it to 3rd day, because it's like this is normally happens in a direct classroom session for 6 hours for 2 days. Now we are comprising that in online. We will extend to 3-hour session. Each will be a 3-hour session. 2 or 3 sessions will be there, and we'll give a complete video demo on all this exercise. First thing, we start with the theory, and we'll show you what are the functional muscles in your posture and everything. From there, we'll push you to the practical session, and we will send you a complete video demo for all the stretching and activation and foam rolling exercise in that entire course. The course fee is 5,000. You can register in our acfitacademy.com. We have a website called acfitacademy.com. Otherwise, I'll give you a contact number. I will put a contact number in this chat box. You can contact my course counselor. His name is Clarence. Okay.
So I would just continue with the chat box as Krish sends the question, the number. Rukmani Ma says, very nice way of explaining posture. Excellent session, sir. Thank you so much. That's what Vidya says. Shiva says, very good session, Krish. We can correct our posture during during exercise. Thank you so much. Rukmani Ma is also a Masters athlete, and she's a secretary of the Tamil Nadu, Masters Athlete Association, and she's asking for the details of the session. So thank you so much, Krish. Many of the trainers here, or many of the participants here in our sessions are a part of the Masters athlete also, and they are into sports, and they understand the kind of recovery and injury-free they need to be, especially because they are into the sports arena almost every day. And we have a great team, a team of like-minded people, where every day 6:20 to 7 o'clock in the morning we have yoga, we have meditation, we have a kind of healing internally, and we also do a lot of stretches, and a lot of experts come and teach us also in this entire sessions. And we have learned from each of our expert speakers that there is so much of dimensions and lateral thinking to sports, fitness, nutrition, and the entire wellness of a person. And this Get and Get Fit is just a platform to help all of us have a non-biased, common platform where we can get holistic and scientific-based information. More so important because people will have various thoughts on, health, and some might be very opinionated, but this is a completely holistic way of looking at things, because we wanted to give a platform which is non-biased, and which is absolutely, on sync with what we can have from the experts in their own fields, so that we get the best out of it. So thank you so much, Subhash, for saying thanks for the session. Parvati says a very good session. Posture explanation is wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. Rhoda says very detailed explanation of the exercises, parts used, how to begin, and what to concentrate on. Thank you. And Krish has sent his details. I would be sharing this. Kevin says, awesome, sir. So I'm sure many of them have benefited from today's session, and thank you so much, Krish. Definitely on accordance with the team, we would get back in case they would want some practical sessions too, because I think anything when you are talking about in terms of practicals, it really works better. But I don't know how much of these online sessions on practicals would work, because each of us might have a different kind of postural need and correction. But I'm sure Krish, being an expert in this, will find some means and will be able to take it forward. So unmute yourself, friends, and you can wish Krish, and definitely if you have any questions you want to ask him, we are open at this point of time.
Any question?
Thanks. Thank you, Krish, for the awesome session.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, I would like to join
for the wonderful session.
Thank you, Vidya. Thank you, Krish, sir. It was very nice. As you said, the time is not sufficient. Lot of information, but to explain in detail, it's really very difficult. And if you could just give us the details of all your these sessions where we can do the short time courses, it will be helpful for us.
Yeah, I had shared that in the chat. You can call the number, and you can check out my website called www.actfitacademy.com.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vidya. Thank
you, Vidya, for arranging such a nice session.
Thank you, Rukmani Ma. Thank you, Vidya, and thank you, Vidya. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Krish,
Doctor.
you were saying
Thank
something.
you, Doctor. Thank you, Krish, for having a wonderful session. Actually, postures, regarding postures, really we are doing so many wrong postures in our day-to-day work, or even sitting at home and all that. We are seeing TV in different postures without realizing the impact on the damage it will do to our body. It was really very, very well explained. So nice to hear this session. Thank you, Doctor, for arranging such a
Thank you,
wonderful
Ravi, sir. Thank you so much for those kind words. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I guess we are coming to the end of the session right now. Just for those closing comments, I would say that the next 2 weeks are going to be the game changer. And I would request all of you to kindly be safe and stay protected. And just a tip on wearing the mask. I'm sure all of us know that we need to wear a mask now. But being a dentist and the next what we are facing is something called mucormycosis. So because we are wearing a mask, especially covering the nose, the mouth, and we are keeping it in close quarters, we are having something called a fungal infection, which is called mucormycosis. It was famously called as the black fungus. And right now there is another variant coming, which is called the white fungus. So how do I take care of myself and not get all this? Is when you're wearing mask, when you're covering your nose and your mouth for a longer period of time, just see that you wash your masks. If they are washable masks, wash them and dry them in sunlight. And second, gargle your mouth after you remove your mouthwash, and brush your teeth twice daily. Because oral health is very important, and we need to understand that the food we eat is through the mouth, and if there is any infection in the oral cavity, that's the food which is going to go down your throat and into your stomach, and which can cause other effects. So at this point of time, I would definitely say use throwaway masks, and if your mask is moist, please change your masks. And if they are washable, wash them and dry them in sunlight. And definitely, take care of your oral health, because the white fungus or the black fungus, both of them are going to be in the rise in the next 2 weeks. And as a small tip, as a health professional, I just thought this might go a long way in helping each of you taking care of your body. And watch out for this Get In Get Fit series, and we will be talking more about health in the next few weeks to come too. And today we are finishing the 43rd episode all together with Get In and Pamper Yourself, and we'll be celebrating our Golden Jubilee celebrations. And I would encourage all of you to be a part of this mega celebrations, which is going to be online through a Zoom. For the links, always follow us, and we will keep you posted. So with that, stay safe, stay protected, and God bless all of you. Let's have prayers for all those warriors and for all those people for whom life is very precious today. Take care. Have a great weekend. Take care.
Thank you, Vidya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you so much.